have in common? Regis lawyers. Lawyers who care, convenient, affordable, respectful, and experienced. For over 20 years, we have helped thousands throughout the Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island. We work 100% for the 99%. For a free consultation with an experienced attorney, call or text us at 212-766-1100. And yes, we speak Spanish.
Millennium TV 24. You're watching a good look in news with me, Kim Seabrook. And as always, you know what I like to do. I like to start off with what's going on right here in our city, New York City, that is. And let's talk about this New York City cop, right? He died on the job, suffered fatal fentanyl overdose. A Bronx surgeon who died on the job last month overdosed on fentanyl and was once caught buying the deadly drug across the street from his precinct station house. Yes, Sergeant Ryan Kenny, 40 years old, who had been on the force for 18 years, was found unresponsive in the third floor locker room at the 50th Precinct building on Kingsbridge Avenue around 12:20 a.m. on August 14th. At the time, police officials believed that Kenny had suffered a fatal heart attack, but sources told us that the sergeant had died of a drug overdose. An investigation later uncovered a video of the officer purchasing the fentanyl outside of the Kingsbridge precinct. Again, and that's according to a high-ranking department source. It was unclear when he had bought the drugs, but they also added that Kenny suffered an injury years ago when he worked in Queens and may have developed an opioid addiction. The father of 11-year-old triplets was beloved by his fellow officers, according to a GoFundMe set up for his family that has raised more than $31,000 as of Wednesday. He was a man known for his humorous character that left awe who encountered him with endless stories of the man that he was. Unfortunately, Sergeant Kenny died unexpectedly in the 50th Precinct during the tour. Kenny's wife, Laura, declined to comment when reached by phone, but an NYPD spokeswoman said that the matter was under internal review. And let's move forward in our next story. And next story, what is going on? Nearly 24 NYC correction officers are suspended for not showing up to work as the city cracks down on absenteeism causing chaos at Rikers Island. The New York City Department of Correction on Wednesday handed out suspensions to 20 officers for failing to show up to work amid an ongoing crisis at the notorious Rikers Island jail. The crackdown took place just one day after Mayor Bill de Blasio issued a warning that any DOC staff member who was AWOL will be held accountable with the 30-day suspension, and that's without pay. During his daily press conference on Tuesday, the mayor unveiled a 5-point plan to address the dire situation at Rikers Island. If they could just show the footage that we have here, Rikers Island, which has long suffered from being critically overcrowded and understaffed, and we can see what's going on. Under the mayor's emergency Rikers relief plan, any DOC officer who calls out sick for more than a day will have to undergo a medical evaluation and provide a doctor's note or face a 30-day suspension. DOC Commissioner Vincent Schiraldi said last week that more than 1,400 officers out of a staff of 8,500 were out sick on average in August, which is more than double compared to the same time last year, which was reported. About 93 officers skipped work a day in August in 2021 compared to the 29 the year before. There was also a report citing anonymous sources that one corrections officer who has been out sick since May was arrested on suspicion of drunk driving. When DOC investigators came by her house to suspend her, she was not home. And another corrections officer reportedly has spent about a year and a half on sick leave and claimed that she could not remember her shield number when investigators visited her at her home. And during a city council hearing on Wednesday, Commissioner Schiraldi blamed the deteriorating conditions at Rikers Island on the skyrocketing officer absences. This is the direct driver of more dangerous conditions in Rikers, and that is completely unacceptable, he stated. The commissioner promised to hand out bonuses to the officers who have been showing up for every shift and even working extra shifts to make up for a lack of staff. But they are the heroes who have been holding the line during these challenging times, he said. And Benny Boscio, president of the Correctional Officers Benevolent Association, hit out that de Blasio over the suspensions, blaming the unfolding crisis on a hiring freeze, even as the inmate population at Rikers Island has doubled. More heavy-handed suspensions will only ensure officers continue to work triple and quadruple shifts with no meals and no rest. Boscio slammed de Blasio as a dictator and called him to resign for punishing overworked officers who have been pulling double and triple shifts in unsafe working conditions. And let's move forward. Let's see what else we have going on in New York. A former NYPD officer won't be indicted after being charged for using chokehold in 2020. Lawyers for Vicky Bellevue are speaking out at the grand jury's decision to not indict a former NYPD officer who was accused of an apparent chokehold just last year. Former officer David Afanador will not be indicted after he was charged for using a chokehold on Bellevue during an arrest back in 2020. The incident was days after former Governor Andrew Cuomo signed legislation banning chokeholds. Bellevue's lawyers are now calling for justice. Last year, body cam footage was shared from the June 2020 incident that happened in Far Rockaway, Queens. And in the video, it appears that 3 officers are holding Bellevue down to the ground. His family has previously stated that Bellevue had mental health issues. Although Afanador was arrested and charged with attempted strangulation, he would not be indicted. Attempted strangulation. That's a new one. I never heard of that one, but okay. The Queens District Attorney released a statement saying, "In the interest of transparency, I am moving to have the minutes of the grand jury hearings unsealed." But what they said is that we strongly support the district's attorney attempt by motioning in this court to make the grand jury's records public. Transparency is important and the public has the right to know. The fight for justice goes on, said attorney Sanford Rubenstein. And while the criminal probe into the former officer has been completed, Bellevue's attorney also says that they will continue with their civil lawsuits against the NYPD and Afanador. And let's move on. What's going on upstate New York? Ida is still having issues with people. Business owners are still having issues with Ida's aftermath. And a hard hit in Mamaroneck, they're keeping their spirits up as recovery continues. 2 weeks ago, Wednesday, the rain fell, the water rose, and downtown Mamaroneck was flooded. Businesses in the Westchester County Village are working to recover, but the process requires patience, hard work, and a good measure of optimism. A School of Rock, the screaming guitars have been replaced by a different soundtrack. As workers remove drywall and clean up the mess the remnants of Hurricane Ida left behind. We lost all of our equipment, amps, speakers, guitar. It's a lot of money, School of Rock's Vanessa Ritter said of her business, 6-figure loss. Throughout Mamaroneck, epic piles of garbage remain 2 weeks after the massive flooding receded. The losses are eye-popping just in terms of coolers and refrigerators. Warren's restaurant took about a $30,000 hit. The owners were finally able to meet with contractors Wednesday to formulate a rebuilding plan. We're hearing from contractors, and there's a backup in equipment. It might not be for 2-3 months. that gets shipped and delivered. It's going to be a while, but we're going to come back from it, Mario Juarez said. And that optimism shines on banners in the businesses district. Just above the flood waterline, a locksmith posted a promise to return bigger and better. At the hard-hit UFC gym, the owner is punching back at misfortune. But he's holding classes outdoors and grateful for clients who are sticking with him. A few blocks away, the Federal Emergency Management Agency is set up at Village Hall, along with the Small Business Administration. We have excellent coverage for them in the form of small disaster loans for businesses that could be up to $2 million with a small interest rate and repayment capability in 30 years. And again, rocked by Ida, downtown Mamaroneck is cleaning up and they're moving on. The SBA also has assistance for businesses that didn't suffer physical damage, but has suffered economically due to the impact on the foot traffic in the flood zone. Well, that is our segment for right now. Let me see. Wait, do we have another one? Oh, yes. Before we do go into break, Syracuse Hospital, they give back COVID vaccination religious exemptions to employees. St. Joseph Health is restoring COVID-19 vaccination religious exemptions for its employees in response to a federal court order. About 100 St. Joe employees received religious exemptions after the hospital mandated the vaccine for its employees on July 8th. St. Joe's is the only Syracuse hospital that imposed its own vaccine mandate, but a Catholic hospital, which is part of the Trinity Health National Health System, had to rescind those exemptions after the state recently decided not to allow them. U.S. District Judge David Hurd issued an order Tuesday temporarily blocking the enforcement of New York State's COVID vaccination mandate on healthcare workers who sought religious exemptions. While the state mandate allows medical exemptions, it prohibits religious exemptions. Without the order, workers who sought a religious exemption and did not get a first dose of the vaccine by September 27th would lose their jobs. The court ordered the state to respond to the lawsuit by September 22nd and argue the case on September 28th. And in a letter issued today, St. Joe's informed employees that it would reinstate the religious exemptions, but warned it may have to revoke them again if the court order is overturned. So first, we know the uncertainty of the situation and incredibly frustrating and stressful that the letter said, but please know that this was never our intention. We promise to keep you informed and let you know of developments that affect your religious exemption status. The letter also states that medical exemptions are being reinstated until further notice for employees whose exemptions applications were previously approved. St. Joe's will review medical exemption applications that were rejected on the basis of state regulations and will notify applicants as soon as possible if they are approved or denied. New employees will be allowed to apply for religious exemptions. As a faith-based health system, we have pledged to protect the most vulnerable. And although the decision to require the vaccination may not resonate with our colleagues, we know it was the right decision. And that is this segment for right now. We are going to go into a commercial break. I'm Kim Seabrook. You're watching the Good Looking News on Millennium TV 24. And in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month, we have a special guest. We'll be right back.
What does a Regis divorce, a Regis bankruptcy, and a Regis personal injury claim have in common? Regis lawyers. Lawyers who care, convenient, affordable, respectful, and experienced. For over 20 years, we have helped thousands throughout the Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island. We work 100% for the 99%. For a free consultation with an experienced attorney, call or text us at 212-766-1100. And yes, we speak Spanish.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
And welcome back to Millennium TV 24. And if you didn't know, yesterday was the start of Hispanic Heritage Month. So you know what we like to do here. We like to make sure we honor those who need to be honored, even not just on the month, any days, but we want to make sure we highlight our people in a positive way. So we have rapper, producer, Mr. Mike Mountain. Hello, Mike. How are you?
Hello, how you doing today? ¿Cómo estamos?
I'm doing good, doing good. What was that? What was that?
¿Cómo estamos?
¿Cómo
How
estamos? Yes, right. Bien, bien. Well, welcome to Millennium TV 24. We want to thank you for stopping through. So, rapper, producer of the Puerto Rican descent, correct?
Yes.
All right. So
Puerto
give us
Rican descent. I'm of mixed descent. I'm of
Native American
Puerto Rican,
too.
African, or Native American, African American, European. I did a DNA test, found out I have some North African too. It's crazy.
Well, I mean,
Crazy.
we already know that being Puerto Rican anyway, so we have other
True.
cultures and, you know, other backgrounds. But give us a little history on your music and how did you start, Mike?
Well, I started recording music when I was 14, 15 years old. When I was in high school, I ran into some guys who were taking it seriously and doing demo tapes. This was back in the 90s, around 92, 93.
Mm-hmm.
And I started recording and doing demos, getting with the group and making music, producing, making beats when I was 16 with analog equipment. When I got into my 20s, I started putting out my music and publishing it. Actually, when I turned 2026 is when in 2007 is when I put out my first album on all platforms, and it made a lot of noise in the underground scene for no promotion. It got around. It created a buzz. People started coming to me and were like, "Are you this guy?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Oh wow, I heard you with a new retro." And I'm like, "Well, that's what I wanted to do because I like making 90s type of music, you know."
Right, absolutely. I definitely know. I'm from, you know, I graduated high school in the 90s. Let's just say that. So yes.
Same here.
Indeed.
Same here.
So talking about that, because I just seen your video, and that's how you start off your video, where somebody is coming into you, and it's Black Spanish, correct? Did I say
Yeah,
it
that's
correct?
right.
Black Spanish.
That's right.
And someone comes up to you, "Hey, I heard you was Mike." Da, da, da. Give us a little background on Black Spanish, what that song means to you, and to the.
Well, that song is Black Spanish is basically a representation for everybody who's Afro Latino or who's Latin and have an African appearance, a clear African descent, ancestry that's visible. It's for people who love the Black culture and love the African aspects of Spanish culture, and that was brought in from West Africa and also from North Africa, from the Moors, and it's a beautiful song that represents who I was growing up and accepting who I was and learning my language and my culture, and as well as who I am today and full circle. So it represents me and anybody that's like me, and it's basically like a beacon, a homing beacon, or a song reaching out to anybody that can relate to it.
Understood. Let me ask you a question. Growing up, because you said you had to learn, if I'm not mistaken, that's what I thought I heard you say.
That's right.
Learning that Puerto Ricans are just not, you know, of the Spanish, you know what I mean? That there's so
Right.
much more to it. How was that in you finding out, you know, that you're Black and you have African descent? What was that like for you?
Well, actually, I grew up in an African American household. My mom's
Okay.
Black.
Okay.
She's mixed, but she's labeled, her ethnicity is African American.
Got it. Okay, so you
She,
already had that, because I know there's a lot of Hispanics who are black Spanish, and they still, it took them a while to understand, you know, their Afro eccentric, their Afro background.
Yeah, a lot of Puerto Ricans that got here were had to assimilate quickly, and were either, especially in the South, had to adjust quickly and were assimilated into the African American community. And you know, if you're black, then you're automatically African American,
right?
And that happens to a lot of people in the diaspora. As far as people from Africa and the Caribbean, and even Papua New Guinea, you know, they become African American. Even white people from Africa, from South Africa. But yeah, as me growing up, I had learned. I found out that I was Puerto Rican when I was about 2, going on 3, and ever since, I've been learning about the language from my relatives.
Okay.
I've been learning the language from also people in the streets that I meet. Growing up in my area, is mostly people from El Salvador and Central America. There are Dominicans here.
Because you're in DC, correct?
Yeah, yeah, in the DC area. That's right. So there are Dominicans here, but it's mostly El Salvadorians, and you know, so I learned. I have a mixture. I have a very mezclado asiento or vocabulary.
Okay, yeah, because your music is, as we call it out here, Spanglish, right? So you have
Spanglish. Yeah, it's a mix. You know, and that's what I feel most comfortable doing. You know, me and other artists like my close friend Thurston Howe the Third. He does Spanglish. He's a master at that Spanglish too, and we kind of sharpen each other's swords when we go at it and make songs together. Okay. So yeah. And other MCs like me that are on the album that do Spanglish as well. We sharpen each other's swords like steel sharpens steel.
Was your music always that way, or did you start off with just English? And are all your songs on your new album? Because you have an album out, and you could talk about that as well. Piragua, correct? 2020, that's when it was released? Piragua. And if people don't know what Piragua is, you can tell them, let them know what.
Piragua is think of pyramid and water. Piragua. It's a snow cone tree. It's kind of like an Italian icy, but it's Puerto Rican. It comes in different flavors like grape, passion fruit, coconut, pina colada, strawberry, punch.
Lemon was my favorite. Yes.
Lemon. Tamarindo, all types of guava, all types of stuff. So it's basically something that refreshes you. And
hold that thought, Mike. I'm sorry. Move your camera to your right a little bit. I want to make sure, because your face keeps getting cut off. Yeah, there we go. All right, go ahead. And you had the idea.
So I got the idea because of you know, I saw a Piragua cart, and I was like, this represents everything that's fun about, you know, the Puerto Rican culture in the summertime. And I was born in the summer, so I was like, I want to make an album about this. And I made it off the image itself, and I made the cover, and then I started making songs with other artists and myself, and just started creating Spanish themed songs. And so basically Piraguas is like, I'm giving different flavors. I'm the guy who has the piraguas that's like piragua, you know, the piraguero that has the different piraguas, and I'm giving out different flavors, whether that's reggaeton or boom bap, hip hop, classic New York hip hop, or it's Latin trap. You know, it's, you know, all different flavors. But it's all Latin, and it's a variety. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know, what we call muchos sabores.
Is that a lot of flavors? Is that a lot of
much flavors? A lot of flavors.
Much flavor.
Right.
Yes. So talk about the album. Who do you have on there? And I believe you have some major producers on there help you as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah. I want to give a shout out to my man E-Rex, aka Mr. Scratch Hook. You can catch him at MrScratchHook.com. He produced a lot of the tracks. He also engineered and mixed down the whole album. He also did all of the cuts, the record scratches, the DJ scratches. Also, I have 2 songs that were produced by the world famous Domingo. If people don't know who that is, he produced Big Pun. He's a Grammy Award winning producer. He just got an award for Drake and Big Pun not too long ago. He did songs for Fat Joe, Cool G Rap, all types of people.
Nice.
He's basically, I hope you mind if I take a sip real quick. My mouth is kind of dry.
No, please go ahead.
Yeah. We got a lot of different producers on there, and I produce a lot of good songs on there as well. It's pretty good. Hazo Blaze produced Black Spanish. We got Papa Nard, Big Papa Nard. He produced Tiempo para Sexo, which is a little, adult, but it's just reggaeton. So reggaeton isn't necessarily meant to be nice, We have my boy Senzu Beats, who did Hocus Pocus. So it's a good variety of music. It's got different producers.
Awesome. So I know your music is both English and Spanish. How do you plan to reach out other people who are not of Hispanic descent with your music?
Through the English and the hip hop itself. Because it's not for people that just speak Spanish. It's for people that speak English. It's for everybody. It's for people that speak French. It's for everybody. Anybody that can feel the beat in their heart.
Absolutely.
Anybody that can feel the rhythm. Anybody that likes the rhymes, likes the wordplay, that wants to learn Spanish, that wants to learn English. It's for people who are Spanish who want to learn English. It's for people who are English that want to learn Spanish. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. But I would like to overall bridge the gap between both American and the Spanish audience.
Awesome. So anybody that you're looking forward to working with in the near future?
Wow. I haven't really thought about it. I would like to work with a young guy who just came out. His name's Mike Towers.
Okay.
He's a Puerto Rican reggaeton Latin trap star. Mike Towers, Jay Cortez, Bad Bunny, of course, or Bad Bunny. That's what they call him.
Is that how they say
it? Yeah. And J Balvin.
Okay.
If I ever get into to rub elbows with those guys, I would love to definitely cook something up with them.
That's what's up. And at the end of the day, what does your music represent for you and for the culture?
It represents something. It's a frequency. It's a frequency. It's like a Native American drum pattern. It's a frequency that you gotta tune into, and it's lyrical wordplay, and it's just it's my contribution to the legacy of hip hop.
Awesome. That's what's up, Mike. It's been a pleasure. Let us know how they can download your music, how they can buy your music, how they can find you, how can they support you, and anything else. If I missed something and you want to elaborate on, please be free.
Okay. You can check me out at MikeMountain.com. That's MICMOUNTAIN.com. You can buy CDs there, physical copies, digital copies. You can buy T-shirts, you can buy jackets, hats, all types of merchandise and paraphernalia. Merchandise and things that good stuff.
Yes.
Legal stuff.
Just go to the website, man.
Legal stuff. Just go to the website, MikeMountain.com. You can catch me on Instagram at The Real Mike Mountain.
Yes.
You can catch me on Twitter at Mike Mountain, Facebook at Mike Mountain fan page. I'm everywhere. You can just Google MICMOUNTAIN, 2 words, Mike Mountain, and I'm there. Catch subscribe to my YouTube. I'm gonna be dropping some more videos. I plan to be going back to Puerto Rico next year, taking my family with me again.
Okay.
My mom and my aunt are going to be taking them with me. They took me last time. I'm going to be taking them this time.
Nice.
So look out for some more videos coming out soon. And thank you so much for having me, Kim.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure, Mike. So just
Thank
stay
you
right
so
there.
much.
You're welcome.
Likewise.
NZ, we're going to go into commercial break. Well, just stay right there until I give you a thumbs up. We'll be right back on Millennium TV 24. I am Kim Seabrook. You're watching A Good Look in News. And we want to thank you again, Mike Mountain, for sitting here with us and hanging out in this little segment right now. We appreciate your time and your space and your energy. We'll be right back.
Peace.
We're going to go into a commercial break. They just have to listen and have to hear. We'll be right back.
Ya tú sabes.
I tell you, technology is awesome. You gotta love it. 2021.
The best.
Take me back to 1994, please.
Word.
Right.
Word up.
Mm-hmm. But yes, in the meantime, don't forget MikeMountain.com.
That's right. MICMOUNTAIN.com.
Right.
Same way you spell a mountain.
Mm-hmm. All righty. We're still here. I guess they don't want you to go, Mike. You got anything else you want to say before they cut us off?
I love y'all, baby. Thank you for having me, y'all. I love y'all. Make sure y'all get CDs.
Make sure what?
Y'all get them CDs. Make sure y'all get them CDs and merchandise, you know?
Right.
MikeMountain.com.
Yes, indeed. Well, I don't know what's going on. They don't want to go into break for some reason. So until they cut us off, is what was
some soldiers.
Yeah,
some soldiers.
Basically,
we're going, you know, we're going to knock it out. You know what I'm saying?
Let's see. So who you listening to right now? Give us 5 MCs that you're listening to.
I'll give you my 5 influences. Redman, Big Pun, Boot Camp Click, Wu-Tang. Wow. Beat Nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's all. I think that's about all. KRS-One. That's more than 5. Though.
Yeah, Wu-Tang is definitely iconic, and definitely has been an inspiration to so many. Are you watching the series out now?
Yeah, I am actually. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am. Mm-hmm. I am. People say they don't like the actor, but I'm like the actor that plays RZA. But I'm like, look, man.
I do like him, but I think this year his voice has gotten real robotic for some reason.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's trying a little too hard.
Yeah, this year I don't know what's going on this season with his voice. I'm like, and little things like that really irk me, and I'm sorry that it does, but I'm like,
I know, but I don't care. Though. I don't care.
No, I love it. I don't care either. I'm gonna watch it.
Subjectively, I mean, I'm looking at it objectively, like, you know, she's doing the job, so like, just get through it. Like, I'm like, all right, I ignore it. You know, I ignore it. Like, okay, we're gonna look past that. We're gonna get to the story of the plot.
And and we're gonna, and then it's like he's pausing after everything, and I'm like, just talk, just let it out.
Accent is killing me.
But
accent is killing me.
It really is killing me. I'm like, trying for it not to irk me, but it really has. But I love Wu-Tang in general as a whole. Actually, I think they were the first people I've seen in concert. And probably only been to like 3. So yeah, they definitely huge inspiration. If you don't know, I'm a poet. Besides what I do, so hip hop is my inspiration as well. Wu-Tang is definitely
nice. I might have some beats for you.
Indeed.
You do spoken word. You do spoken word or something like that. I might have some beats for you that you might like.
Yeah, I'll share some stuff.
I can never really get off on because I'm so aggressive on a mic that I couldn't really do it on a neo soul type beats,
Got it. You keep moving to the side and your face keeps getting cut off on the interview.
Oh wow!
I keep telling you, you want to lean back.
Okay,
we're still live, so for whatever reason they don't want to disconnect. So
okay, so do I lean to the left or the right of myself?
Right there is perfect.
Okay.
But you just keep leaning to the side, and then that's what happens. So
right, so the left is better, like this, right?
Yes, because your right is my left. So this side, you keep going that way, and then you're getting cut off. But anyway, right there is good. Just hang out right there.
This is better.
Yes.
Oh, I see. This way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But no, now stay in the middle. It's right there. Okay. Don't move. So, do you have kids or do you have kids?
Not yet.
Okay. I was gonna ask by any chance if they were, in the music as well. I have a 22-year-old, so he's into music. So I was just trying to talk about that. Yeah. What about any of your other family members? Anybody else in the music in your family?
My mom, she created her songs when she was younger, before I was born. She's really good. She plays the guitar. She sang. Okay. She used to play the guitar for me when I was a child. My uncle also is good at keyboard. He can play the keyboard really good. I don't know anybody else in my family that does music too well. I got a distant cousin that sings. She was on America Has Talent. Mm-hmm. But he's a little far out there for me, so I can't deal with. You know how it is with family.
I know, but we're gonna talk nice. We live. we worldwide.
No. I'm not saying no names. I'm just saying,
I totally get it though.
Family is family. God bless them.
Yeah, God, exactly. Trust me, I understand. Blood is blood. Family is,
true.
Family is what you make it. Yeah.
True indeed.
Mm-hmm. So, are you performing anywhere anytime soon or anything?
No, I'm not. I actually have a herniated disc.
Okay.
I had some surgery taken care of. I'm getting myself together. I'm in physical therapy. I would like to get myself back to physical performing fitness. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it again. I used to perform before. Last time I performed was 2009. 2010. 2009.
Wow, that long.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Oh man, you gotta hit that stage.
Yeah, I really do. I'm really content with just making music and just putting it out there.
I got you.
The videos alone are a lot of work, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
The videos alone are a lot of work. They're a performance in itself, but
I get it.
I'm glad that I get to capture that and encapsulate that and put that for dexterity purposes and for a time capsule.
Right.
So that people later on, maybe 20, 40 years from now can tap in and listen and say, hey, this guy, he may not be around anymore, but this is what he was about. And he inspired me. I want to inspire somebody,
Right.
So that's definitely my goal.
Got it.
To use the media, you know,
Mm-hmm.
use the media to inspire the people.
Indeed. Well,
You know,
hopefully,
I feel like,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I feel like, you know, a performance does stick with a person, and it's a good thing, but it doesn't last forever like a video or a song does, you know.
I definitely understand. Well, that's not true. Because when people see you and they're at a moment and a time and a place, you don't, a lot of people see performances and remember them forever. But I think we're going to go
What
into
does a
this break.
Regis divorce, a
Finally.
Regis bankruptcy, and a Regis personal injury claim have in common? Regis lawyers. Lawyers who care, convenient, affordable, respectful, and experienced. For over 20 years, we have helped thousands throughout the Hudson Valley, New York City, and Long Island. We work 100% for the 99%. For a free consultation with an experienced attorney, call or text us at 212-766-1100. And yes, we speak Spanish.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
And welcome back to Millennial TV 24. Again, we want to thank Mike Mountain for being here with us and, you know, Hispanic Heritage Month. So let's move forward. Florida doctor paid $6.75 million to settle allegations that he performed unnecessary surgeons. A cardiologist based in Orlando, Florida has paid $6.75 million to resolve allegations he performed unnecessary medical procedures. Between January 2013 and December 2019, Dr. Ashish Pal allegedly submitted false claims to federal healthcare programs for medically unnecessary ablations and vein stent procedures, according to the settlement. I've heard that before. The United States Department of Justice alleged that the surgeon performed the procedures on veins that did not qualify for treatment under the standards of the industry. Dr. Powell was also accused of misrepresenting patient medical records to justify the surgeries, including overstating the degree of reflux and diameter of veins and falsely documenting patient symptoms. In many instances, the ablations were allegedly performed by one or more ultrasound technicians outside of their scope of practice, according to the DOJ. Physicians are expected to perform procedures only when they have a legitimate medical basis to do so, said Acting Assistant Attorney General Brian M. Boynton for the Justice Department Civil Division. The department will pursue those who waste taxpayer funds and subject patients to unwarranted medical care. Acting U.S. Attorney Karen Hopman of the Middle District of Florida added that their office would continue holding people accountable who abuse the nation's healthcare programs at the expense of taxpayers. And as to prevent the alleged abuses from reoccurring, Dr. Powell and his medical malpractice, interventional cardiology and vascular consultants entered into a detailed multi-year integrity agreement with the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Inspector General. And that includes training and reporting requirements as weeks as claim reviews conducted by an independent review organization. And moving forward, we're going to go into our next story. Afghan women protest against the Taliban in streets and on social media. Tens of thousands of people have fled Afghanistan, including women. And many who remain in the country and are against the Taliban are fearful of what's next. Some have gone into hiding or are protesting. The Taliban recently unveiled their new interim government, which is made up of entirely men. They've also brought back the Ministry of Virtue and Vice to enforce the restrictions, ban women in sports, and implement rules for education and clothing. clothing. All female students, teachers, and staff must cover their entire body, including their hands and most of their faces, using an Islamic abaya robe and niqab. The clothes must be black, and classes also have to be segregated by gender. While the Taliban says they will be more tolerant of women's rights and won't keep them out of education or having jobs, they asked all women, excluding in the public health sector, to stay home until security improves. But as the nation faces political, social, and economic uncertainty, some women are fighting back by protesting in the streets and on social media. And in our next story, let's move on. We will be talking about the FBI, how they turned blind eye to reports of gymnast abuse. Olympic gold medalist Simone Biles told Congress in forceful testimony Wednesday that the federal law enforcement and gymnastic officials turned a blind eye to USA Gymnastics team Dr. Larry Nassar's sexual abuse of her and hundreds of other women. Biles told the Senate Judiciary Committee that enough is enough, as she and 3 other U.S. gymnasts spoke in stark emotional terms about the lasting toll Nassar's crimes have taken on their lives. In response, FBI Director Christopher Wray said he was deeply and profoundly sorry for delays in Nassar's prosecution and that the pain that it caused. The 4-time Olympic gold medalist and 5-time world champion, widely considered to be the greatest gymnast of all time, said that she can imagine no place that I would be less comfortable right now than sitting here in front of you. She declared herself a survivor of sexual abuse. I blame Larry Nassar, and I also blame an entire system that enabled the perpetrated his abuse, Biles said through tears. And in addition to failures of the FBI, she said USA Gymnastics and the United States Olympic and Paralympic Committee knew that I was abused by their official team doctor long before I was ever made aware of their knowledge. The hearing is part of a congressional effort to hold the FBI accountable after multiple missteps in investigating the case, including the delays that allowed the now imprisoned Nassar to abuse other young gymnasts. At least 40 girls and women said they were molested after the FBI had been made aware of allegations against Nassar in 2015. And next, we move forward to South Korea to fine Google $177 million for forcing software on devices. South Korea's competition watchdog plans to fine Google at least $207.4 billion. That's won, and that's 177 million US, for allegedly blocking smartphone makers like Samsung from using other operating systems in what would be one of the country's biggest antitrust penalties ever. Google said it plans to challenge the fine. It has accused South Korean authorities of disregarding how its software policy benefits hardware partners and consumers. Tuesday's announcements came as South Korea also began enforcing a revised telecommunications law that prohibits app market operators like Google and Apple from requiring smartphone users to pay with their in-app purchasing systems. It is the first nation to adopt such regulations. South Korea has always closely scrutinized how foreign technology companies behave in its market. Much of the focus in recent years has been on Google and Apple as officials vow to prevent them from abusing their dominant market positions in mobile internet. Joe pointed out that Samsung, the maker of the globally popular Galaxy Android phones, suffered a huge setback in 2013 when Google forced it to abort its plans to use a customized version of Google software on its Galaxy Gear smartwatches. Samsung switched to a little-known operating system called Tizen, but gave up the software after struggling with a lack of applications. The company's new smartwatches are now powered by Google Wear OS. LG was also thwarted from releasing smart speakers based on customized Google software. The fine announced for Google would be the 9th largest the FTC has ever imposed. The company may end up paying even more. And we're going to close this segment out with some more tips. I'll let this video finish and move forward as they're still showing about the Google thing. But we'll end this with tips for avoiding relapse. I know that there are some people who may be fighting and struggling on relapsing, especially after this pandemic and everything. So let's talk about that. So are you ready to give up drugs or alcohol for good? Doing so will improve your physical health. Staying sober can also restore your ability to function at work, school, and home. And you can start to repair relationships scarred by substance abuse. So in your journey to sobriety, realize relapses are common, but they're not inevitable. So try these tips to help you stay on your path to sobriety. 1, you got to surround yourself with positive people. Spend time with people who support your recovery and give you good advice. This could be friends or family members that you trust, and they can help you with rides, do things with you to distract your mind, help avoid temptations, listen to you, and help you talk through your struggles. Likewise, avoid people who use drugs around you or make you feel bad about yourself because you chose to do different and better yourself. What's also important is to identify your triggers. Triggers are things that make you want to use drugs or alcohol. They are the people, places, feelings, situations, or objects that trigger your need for drugs or alcohol. Keeping a substance use diary can also help you identify when you use, who is with you when you use, and what you're feeling when you use. Then make a list of your triggers and make a plan with your counselor or provider for avoiding them. And also, we want you to talk through your cravings. The support of friends and family can help you stay on the path to recovery when cravings come. So when you have the urge to use drugs or alcohol, talk through the craving with a friend or family member who supports your recovery. Because why? They can help you avoid the people or places that tempt you to use. And hearing encouraging words can help you feel less anxious and give you the confidence to stay sober. And next, we're going to try urge surfing, right? A technique called urge surfing can help you manage cravings. When you have a craving, think of it like an ocean wave, right? Visualize yourself riding through the wave as it crests and then dies out instead of letting the wave crash over you. This imagery helps you avoid feeling overwhelmed by the craving. It helps you realize the craving is temporary and you don't have to act on it. I know that from quitting cigarettes. I've had that wave. So once you get through it and you can move forward and keep going, trust me, it works. And what you could do also is break a sweat. Physical activity can be a healthy distraction and a stress reliever. Also, exercise may alter brain chemistry in a way that reduces the desire to use drugs. In a study of marijuana users, subjects cut their drugs use by half after 2 weeks of exercising 30 minutes a day. So talk with your doctor about starting an exercise program and find an activity that you enjoy. Having an exercise buddy for mutual support can help you stick with it. Or you can even just look on YouTube and find several things that you could do right in your home, or go outside, find a track, go to the park, go for a long walk, things like that. Also, do meaningful activities. Giving your life purpose outside of drug use is an important part of recovery. The key is getting your mind off of drug or alcohol use and focusing on doing something else or helping someone else. Try volunteering for a cause that is important to you. Or explore your creative side, paint, write poetry, or learn to play a musical instrument. De-stress daily. Recovery can be a difficult journey, right? But be proud of yourself for taking this step to improve your health and your life. Take time every day to relieve stress or do something nice for yourself. Experts recommend mind-body programs for people recovering from addiction. Yoga and meditation, super helpful, trust me. In addition to promoting your recovery, these programs can improve your physical health, relieve stress, enhance your life, improve sleep, reduce anxiety, and most of all, depression. So yes, there's so many things that you could do, but I hope that these tips right here will just help you in the meantime. I am Kim Seabrook. You've been watching the Good Looking News on Millennium TV 24. Don't forget, download the apps on your Android, your iPhone, Roku TV, Apple TV, your Amazon Fire Sticks, or your smart TVs. And yes, I'm Kim Seabrook again. You've been watching the Good Looking News on Millennium TV 24. We thank you for supporting us as we will continue to support you. Have a good day.